Hello and welcome to today's live stream. Today I'm going to be talking about hashtags, what they are and how's best to use them on Instagram. There's some amazing little tactics you need to do when you're using Instagram hashtags. And actually you may also, there's some things you really need to avoid. You could get your account banned by using popular hashtags. But again, I'm going to be talking about that at the end of the video. So today, we're just going to be talking about hashtags on Instagram, what they are, what they mean, how to make the best use of them. Again, if you're watching in my group, say hello. And if you're watching on my Facebook group, say hi. Ask me any questions. If you're watching on YouTube, please do subscribe to my channel. And again, type any questions in the chat. I always love lots of questions, love lots of comments. So yeah, do say hello. Oh, hi, Amanda. Hi, welcome to another Monday morning session. Thanks for saying hello. Okay. So hashtags. It's funny, isn't it? Hashtags, people always go, oh yeah, hashtags. And actually, a lot of people don't know what hashtags are. So let's start by this, getting the basics right. What are hashtags? And this doesn't matter what social media platform you're on, but hashtags are basically a way of picking out keywords from your content that your post is about. So today I'm using Instagram. So I'm talking about hashtags. So I would use hashtag Instagram hashtags, for example, because what I'm talking about relates to hashtags on Instagram. I might also put hashtag social media tips because I'm going to be sharing lots of tips and advice on how to use hashtags. So hashtags are really pulling out those keywords that relate to your content. It's a bit like, I like to sort of see it as like a filing system. So it's a bit like a filing system for Instagram. So if you do hashtag your post by putting those keywords in there, identifying them via the hashtags, Instagram is filing your content into the right bits on Instagram, because each hashtag on Instagram has a page. So if you click on that hashtag, it'll then go through to a page of other content that relates to that hashtag. So it's really quite interesting stuff. So think of it that way. The keywords, the hashtags, relate to your content. And by picking out those keywords, it then files it in the right place on Instagram. So if anybody else is searching Instagram, they'll be able to potentially find your content. That's what I love about Instagram, is the hashtags. They are so powerful. They really do help you get seen, get your content visible and out there. So they're a really powerful tool, and often people underestimate them and they don't use the right strategy, and then they wonder why their Instagram is not getting much engagement or not getting much visibility, because there is a big strategy behind hashtags. Excuse me, I have some water. I've got a sore throat today. Right, okay. So how do you add a hashtag? Well, simply you add a hashtag by typing in that hashtag and then the word straight after. It can be a short one, hashtag Instagram, or it can be a long one, hashtag Instagram top tips. Again, no spaces. You don't put any spaces. It's all one word. If you put spaces in, your hashtag simply won't work. And then when you've done that hashtag, it'll come up as a clickable link that then links through to hashtag top tips. So again, your hashtags can be as big as you like. Now, a big question that people ask is, how many hashtags should I be using on Instagram? Oh, I don't want to use too many because it looks really spammy. Or I don't want to use too few because I'm not going to get seen. Well, you can actually use up to 30 hashtags on Instagram. If you use any more than 30, your post won't post. Your caption for your image won't post. Now, I always suggest you use the full 30. The reason being is that if you use the full 30, you're potentially being visible then on 30 hashtag pages. So if you are looking to grow your Instagram, then you need to be as visible as possible. And by being as visible as possible, you can use all 30 hashtags. If you only use 4, then you're only potentially going to show up in 4 other places. So it's really important to really maximize the opportunity for you to use all those hashtags. 12 or more as well. 12 or more hashtags will get you the best engagement on a post. So if you use less than 12, engagement has seemed to drop on Instagram. So again, certainly use 12. Now people are going to say, 30? What on earth? How on earth am I going to come up with 30? Well, there's a way of doing it, and I'll be coming to that in a minute later on in the video. But yes, absolutely do use 30, okay, for each post. So that's in each post. Now, you used to, the big question is that people ask is, well, should I put 30 in my caption because actually it looks really spammy? Maybe I should put them in the comments after I've posted my post. The answer to this is both work, to be fair. Both will work if you put your hashtags in your caption. I tend to write my caption and then leave a bit of space below and then put my hashtags so they're at the bottom. Other people prefer to put the hashtags in the comments. The beauty about putting them in the comments is sometimes if you put your hashtags in your actual caption, because they are clicking through to different pages, potentially you can lose your viewer because they may click through to hashtag Instagram top tips. Oh, I'd like to use some of that, click through and then lose your post, which is why a lot of people put them in the comments. But for visibility, it doesn't matter whether they are in the comments or whether they are in the actual post itself. Now, you did used to be able to do 60 hashtags because you used to be able to put 30 in the caption with your image and then 30 in the comments. You can't do that anymore. So if you're still trying to do that, it just doesn't work. You have just got 30 to put in there. Okay. So personally, I just put them in the caption because I don't want to go back in and then leave a comment. But again, it's entirely up to you. Different people on Instagram will tell you use different techniques. So again, try it. Like anything on social media, try it and see what gets the best results for you. Okay. And also, you know, if you forget to put your hashtags in or you think, oh, actually, that's not a very good hashtag, don't forget you can go back in and edit it and add hashtags after you've actually posted it as well in the caption or in the comments. Okay. Now, some interesting facts as well. Again, if you've got any questions, please type them in. If you've had any experience, if you're not sure about some hashtags, please type any questions in the comments. Because hashtags can be a bit tricky sometimes. Everyone thinks they're dead simple, but actually there's quite a bit of strategy behind how you use your hashtags. So yes, please leave me any questions. Okay, so an interesting one as well is if you are using just Instagram as a personal profile, if your profile is private and you put your hashtags in, your hashtags are not going to show up in your feed. So do make sure that your page is set up correctly as a business page, not a profile, a personal profile, or potentially your content won't be getting seen. You do need to set your page up in the correct way. And I do have a workshop coming up on the 18th of March, all to do with Instagram, the best strategy, how to set your pages up, content, etc., how Instagram works. So if you're free on the 18th of March and you're near Warrington, please do come along to that workshop in the morning. But yes, so make sure, you know, your profile is publicly available. Otherwise, again, you've potentially lost those that visibility. Okay. Now, another point to make out with hashtags is you can put numbers in, but you can't put special characters in like percentage signs or pound signs or anything like that. So it's got to be just words, letters and numbers. And again, no spaces in there. An interesting one as well is that if you do a post and then you go onto your post and add your hashtags in as a comment underneath, then your image will show up in those hashtags. So if I were to do a post about hashtag roleplay games, then that image is going to show up in the hashtags roleplay games somewhere, depending on how popular it is, in that page. However, if someone then comes onto my post, and maybe I've not used hashtag roleplay gaming, for example, they come onto the post and they write a comment and put hashtag roleplay gaming, it doesn't then mean that my image is then tagged into that page. It doesn't follow through to the page. So hashtags can only be tagged by the person who's publishing the post. Okay, so you can't go onto other people's posts and go, oh, this would be a great image for hashtag roleplay gaming, and type a comment and put hashtag roleplay gaming in. It will be a clickable link through to that hashtag, but that image will not appear in that newsfeed unless the person who has written and published that image has done it themselves. Okay, so that's an interesting thing as well that a lot of people weren't aware of. Okay, so your hashtag strategy, and if you've got to think of 30 hashtags, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do 30 hashtags for every single post you do? Surely that's going to just take up so much of your time. Well, no, because we don't do 30 individual different hashtags for every single post. We come up with a hashtag strategy. Again, I'm going to be talking a lot about this hashtag strategy, and we're creating our own hashtag strategies on the workshop on the 18th of March. We're not going into a huge amount of detail here, but I'll just sort of give you the details of what you need to do. So your hashtag strategy is that actually you come up with hashtags that are relevant to your business. Just do it on a spreadsheet or whatever, do it in a Word document, and just come up with keywords that relate to your business. What you've got to remember with hashtags is you've got to think about what your customers would use to describe your business. So, for example, I wouldn't use hashtag SEO and algorithms, because my customers are not going to be, half of them don't even know what SEO is, or half of them don't even know what algorithms are. I've got to really get into the head of my customers and think about what hashtags are they likely to be using and searching for, so that my post gets in front of their search feed when they're looking for it. So I would use hashtag like social media, increase social media visibility, or hashtag social media tips, things like that I know my customers are looking for, because that's what they're going to be typing in. We want our content to go in front of our customers. Okay, so you've got to really think about what keywords your customers are using. Think about the keywords you put on your website to help you get found by your potential customers. Use those potential keywords in Instagram, and again, do research them and things like that. So what you do is you come up with some common hashtags that you're going to use in every single post, and then you come up with a few more that are specifically related to that post. Okay, so I might come up with social media tips, hashtags, social media, hashtag, hashtag top tips for social media, that sort of thing. And then for this, if I was doing an Instagram post on this one, I would then go hashtag Instagram top tips. So making it really relevant to what the post is actually talking about. So I would do hashtags for Instagram, hashtags for Instagram. Well, that's confusing. So something like that. That's what you need to be thinking about. So really what you're doing is you're writing some really common ones that relate to your business, And what you can do is write them out, put them in the notes on your phone, so that every time you do a post on Instagram, you can just copy and paste all those hashtags from your notes page and put them in, and then just add 5 or 6 that are relevant to your post, to your image. Now, there is one caveat, which I alluded to at the beginning of this video, is that people have a tendency to want to use all the really popular hashtags. So some hashtags have followers of millions. And people think, right, well, I'm going to use, so for example, if I use hashtag Instagram, I would not expect to trend for that because it is far too competitive. Too many people use that. So actually, the really popular and obvious hashtags that relate to my industry, I don't often use, simply because I never get found for it anyway. But there's also a really important other reason. Some popular hashtags have actually been banned. And if you're using those hashtags, you could be identified as a shadow banner, basically. You could be shadow banned yourself. What this means is that because Instagram, like any social media platform, is open to abuse by the robots, by the automation, by people that just want to spam you with their ads and things like that. What happens is these robots jump onto popular hashtags. They'll jump onto popular hashtags, and every time that hashtag, they'll just keep using it. But their posts might not relate to what that hashtag is. So then Instagram users flag them up saying, these people are spamming, this post does not relate. This post does not relate to what it's talking about. This post does not relate to social media tips, etc. It's an advert about conservatories. They are just using it. So people identify, and then Instagram will go, right, okay, well, this hashtag is being abused by robots that are automatically posting on here. We're going to shut this hashtag down. So what happens is if then you're continuing not realizing, a lot of businesses are using these hashtags and not realizing that they are using this hashtag that is potentially been banned. And therefore, Instagram's automation is then identifying your account as a spammer because they think that you're trying to be a spammer. And you might just naively be using that hashtag. Therefore, one, your post won't get hardly any reach at all. Instagram won't show hardly anyone. And two, they potentially, if it's really bad, might close your account down. So you have to be really, really careful, and you have to do your research. So how do you know if a hashtag has been banned? Well, basically, an example is hashtag beauty blogger. That is a banned hashtag. And the reason you can find that, if you go onto your Instagram account, in the search bar, type hashtag beauty blogger and scroll to the bottom. And if you scroll past, there's quite a few lines, quite a few pages, but scroll to the bottom. I can't remember, it's about 40 or so. After 40 or so posts, it'll stop, and there'll be a little message at the bottom that basically just says, this content is currently hidden. It's been reported, basically. It's been flagged up for spam. So anyone, I mean, this is a common one, particularly in the beauty industry. If you're using hashtag beauty blogger, I mean, who wouldn't if you were blogging about beauty, completely not realizing that hashtag has been banned. And again, it can massively affect your account. So be really careful with your hashtags. Do your research. There's loads of tips and things out there that can help you come up with those. Think about the ones that you've been using for your website, and just do a little bit of research onto some of those hashtags as well. Google them. There's loads of things you can do. And again, if you are local to Warrington, I am going to be going through, and we're going to be developing in the workshop on the 18th of March, loads and loads of strategies around how we develop our own hashtag strategy. But those really are some of the top tips that you should be using for hashtags. So if you have got any questions, please type them in the chat, because we're going to be finishing. I'm going to be finishing shortly. You know, have you come across any hashtags that have been banned? Have you? Or maybe that was news to you and you just didn't realise. I would say the majority of businesses don't actually realise that there are banned hashtags. So again, just something to be really carefully aware of. So let me know what hashtag strategy you're using. So just to summarise, think about hashtags that are relevant to your company, your customers. What type of hashtags are they going to be using? It's going to be relevant to the content that you're posting. Think about those keywords. Use those keywords that you put in your website to get found. Use those as hashtags. Do your research on Instagram. Make sure that they're not banned hashtags. And also choose some really niche hashtags that have hardly any followers, because you're much more likely to get seen on that. And if they are niche, those people are really, really interested in those hashtags. So you're much more likely to get seen. So look at a whole variety of hashtags, a couple that might be really popular, and then a few that are quite popular, and then some that are not popular at all. You know, even try and think of one that might be bespoke to your industry. Okay. Put them in the comments, put them in your captions, whichever. It doesn't hugely matter. But the most important thing is do your research and get it right. Okay. So that is hashtags, what they are, how they're used, and what's the best way to use them. So again, if you're watching on Catch Up, again, post any questions or comments. I'll happily answer them after this live stream. And next week, I think we're going to be talking about video. What's the best top tips for your video for your social media? So come and join me next Monday at 12:30 as normal, and I'll give you some tips on video for your social media content. Okay, hope you found this useful. If you're watching on YouTube, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all next week, 12:30. Okay, thanks guys. See you later. Bye. Thanks guys. See you later.